Let's talk about the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Oh,
Our
dear.
school. This is home. This is home.
This is home.
Brent Pry. I don't even know how warm the seat is because a lot goes into firing a coach that we don't even have to get into all of that. People have opinions in Blacksburg that sometimes you can't just fire a coach because there's other people in other places that also, so we'll see how all that plays out. But the seat is getting toasty for Brent.
It is.
It is.
It's how on your car you have the heated seat and it's like 1, 2, or 3.
Sure. Yeah.
It's on a 2 right now. It's pretty cold outside, so the 3 is a little tempting. It's let's be honest. We're not going to sugarcoat it. There are numerous jobs on the line in Blacksburg this year, and that's a macro thing. So in the micro, in terms of the football aspect of it, you lose a ton of guys to the NFL from a team last year that was way too good to have gone 6-7. Obviously, Tech is now 1-12 and 1-score games under Brent Pry. I think I saw last year was the first time that they didn't lose a game by double digits since 2010, but they still lost 6 games in the regular season. Games that they shouldn't have lost. Really, they beat Miami. I guess they did. Let's be honest with ourselves.
We were there.
I just got to say, the last 15 minutes, the craziest press box environment I've ever been in. With all due respect to all of our colleagues who were there, that's the least professional press box I was in during the Hail Mary sequence, because we all just did not know what the hell was going on. It was absolutely nuts, but that's a whole nother can of worms to be opened. I think Tech, despite losing a lot of talent, is still a pretty decently talented team, I gotta say. And the same thing applies last year and even the year before. Brent Pry really knows how to work the transfer portal. I really love what they brought in the backfield with Braden Bennett and Terrion Stewart. I think they're going to be apt replacements for what Tech had last year with Bashal Tootin. And Jeremiah Coney's still back there toeing the rock as well. So they've got a pretty good committee of running backs. I imagine Stewart will be the lead back there. I worry about the wide receiver room because they had so many guys last year. They had Jalen Lane was a 4th-round pick. Quan Felton was an NFL body. Steven Gosnell was an NFL body. Ali Jennings, for what it's worth, was an NFL body until, his career kind of went by the wayside down the stretch in Blacksburg. And having Kyron Drones back certainly helps. I think it's better than if Tech would have gone into the season with Pop Watson as their starting quarterback. Again, health plays a factor there, and the offensive line's not great. And even when Kyron is at his best, he's still a 12 touchdown, 8 interception kind of guy. Obviously, with huge rushing upside. What worries me about this Tech team is the defense, because last year was not good. And they did get rid of Chris Marv. And they did bring in Sam Seifkes, who I think is a huge upgrade at that position, coming in from the NFL and has worked under really good coaches. The dude was just with Jonathan Gannon, who's one of the better defensive minds in the NFL. So I think they're going to bring in some very nice stuff into the defensive side of the ball in Blacksburg. It's just a matter of, can it all come together? Can they finally win a close game? I think if Tech doesn't win 7 or 8 games this year, which they haven't done since the Stone Age, it feels like, a lot of people are losing their jobs.
It's hard to disagree with that. I think because of the upgrades made at both coordinator positions.
Yes.
Brent Pry relieved Chris Marv of his duties as defensive coordinator. Tyler Bowen was still the offensive coordinator. I think it was a situation of you really could make a change at both, but you could only really afford to make one move, and a double move kind of fell into your lap. It was who's the lesser of two evils? Okay, we'll keep Tyler Bowen and get rid of Chris Marv. Then Tyler Bowen says, peace. I'm going to go join the defending national champions as an offensive line coach or tight ends coach. Which one?
Yeah, I think it's offensive line.
Offensive line coach. There you go. And great move for him. Pressure's off as a play caller. You get to go to Columbus. Good for Tyler Bowen. He got a pay raise. He got a pay raise to not call.
I got to tip my cap, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no doubt. And so you're sitting there scrambling because it's late in coaching hire season, so to speak. Who the heck could they possibly hire? And one of the biggest things on everybody's wish list, so to speak, I think, including Brent Pry, is we want somebody with experience, serious play calling experience. Because when Brent Pry formed his original staff, he's a first-time head coach. Hey, let me bring in a bunch of first-time coordinators as well, and let's just throw everything at the wall and figure out what sticks together. And you're 1-11 in one-score games, 3 years deep, right? And so I think with Philip Montgomery, the new offensive coordinator, you have exactly what you were looking for in somebody with serious experience. This guy was RG3's offensive coordinator at Baylor. He coached a Heisman Trophy winner. And it's not just like a flash in the pan either. He's had nation's #1 offenses year after year in his time as a coordinator at Baylor. He has experience as a head coach with some of the best offenses in the country as well. Like, this is his brand, is productive offenses, particularly when he has a quarterback that he likes. And it all comes full circle because he heavily recruited Kyron Drones coming out of high school. And now they meet up at Virginia Tech. He got the quarterback that was right, and there's a match there. I think that he can pull the best out of Kyron. I think Kyron's going to significantly benefit from having an experienced veteran play caller like that. And I think that, I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but I think if you can keep turning those one-score games the other way, you're looking at a 7-8 win football team. Because they were going to bowl games with all those one-score losses.
Right. Because they could beat up on the bad teams.
Right. Oh, they had no problem beating up on the bad teams.
No,
like
when
Boston College comes in on a Thursday night and they beat them by 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
Smacked them. I mean, Georgia Tech didn't score a touchdown.
Wake Forest and Pittsburgh couldn't score. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a matter of like you said, flipping the losses into wins. I kind of need to see it to believe it, because at the end of the day, Brent Pry is the guy wearing the headset, and so many of those decisions are on him. It's definitely good to have more experience in the coordinator rooms. I do like the hire of Philip Montgomery, but when you talk about these explosive, productive Baylor offenses, man, I was in elementary school when RG3 won the Heisman, and I was in middle school. I was in middle school when Bryce Petty was there throwing it around. So like, it's been a long time. And I think that the marriage of Philip Montgomery and Kyron Drones is a potentially fruitful one. I just don't know if the rest of the offense is talented enough to keep up. The offensive line has some massive question marks, losing their best, probably their best player to the portal, and Braylon Moore, who went to LSU. And then the wide receiver room is definitely been downgraded, although I do like Donovan Green, who transferred over from Wake Forest. And who knows if a guy like Chance Wiggins, Aiden Green makes a jump now that they get playing time. And for what it's worth, I think Benji Gosnell is one of the better tight ends in the league. So the potential is there, but with the tough schedule, like, I
don't find it as tough as you do. I find the non-conference tough. I don't find ACC play to be that unbearable. Let's, while we're talking about it, pull it right up.
I mean,
it's South Carolina difficult. And Vanderbilt off the rip is unfortunate to say the least.
Right. But let's just get this out the way. All right. If Tech starts the year 0-2, Main Street will be set ablaze. Like, the fact that Tech has still not beaten a non-conference power opponent since West Virginia on my 16th birthday. I'm turning 24 next month, Giovanni. My 16th birthday, they beat West Virginia and Landover, Maryland. That was 8 freaking years ago. They had every opportunity against Rutgers the last 2 years. They should have beaten Vanderbilt last year. I think South Carolina is going to have their way with them in Atlanta. If they're unable to come home and beat Vanderbilt, who they again should beat, even though they still have, they're not bad. Like, they do still have Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers and a lot of talented players that beat them last year. Tech should still win that game. And if they don't, it's going to be absolute hell to play. I agree with you that the conference schedule is pretty easy. there's always a free win baked in on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. But like going to Florida State could be tough. Louisville's not going to be easy. At Georgia Tech's not going to be easy. At NC State's not going to be easy. Like there's so many question marks here that I can't just say with confidence, like, yeah, I expect Tech to do X, Y, and Z in these games, because covering the program and being at the university, you kind of get this inherent sense of pessimism. Like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop and for something to go wrong. And I'd love to be proven wrong. But last year I drank so much Kool-Aid that my cup is empty this year. So I need to see.
I went in very pessimistic until I started reading up on these transfers and just feeling like, okay, maybe there's something, and reading up on these coordinators.
It's a talented team.
I'm alarmed that they only return 2 defenders that started last year. But at the same time, I do think the defensive transfers they brought in, like Jonkum could be a dog. Bell,
he's
could
a fun
be a dog,
player.
you know?
Yeah. Bell is an absolute unit, that's for sure. And then again, the returning starters, like, one of them is arguably the most important player on the field in Jaden Keller. Like, they're going to be in a position where the defense has experience where it counts. And I think these guys have been through the ringer in their time in Blacksburg. I think that can definitely play a factor.
How about last note on Virginia Tech? That offensive line, you hire Matt Moore from West Virginia.
That's
and
true.
He brings West Virginia's entire O-line with him, including probably future top 3-round pick in Thomas Remack.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to be huge at the guard spot. And then you brought more with him. You add on to what you already had. I actually think the offensive line could be a strength, which has not been the story in 10 years. Well,
right.
Actually, less than that. They turned out that line in 2019, 2020. That was pretty elite. Christian Darrisaw.
Yeah. When I say the offensive line's a question mark, it's again like a situation where I need to see it to believe it. But they made all the right moves to make sure the offensive line isn't as rough as it was last year. But I mean, goodness, down the stretch last year, they couldn't run the ball. I mean, they couldn't do much at the end of last year. But I remember
they were all hurt though too.
Injuries completely plagued last year. Like last year was a Murphy's Law type of season for Virginia Tech. I remember being very, very rude to them in my columns after each of those losses down the stretch. So I'm hoping for better results this year, but I'm not. Again, my cup runneth over last year, and I'm leaving it there for now. You got to show me that I should go get some more Kool-Aid.
Valid.